Welcome to another Q&A episode on the channel. To get involved in this series, then all what you need to do is leave your questions in the comment section of this video, and then in a future Q&A episode I will try and answer as many questions that I do get in the comment section of this video. If I haven't answered your question yet, I have got a bit of a backlog just because I have uploaded 2 other Q&A episodes before this one, and I still haven't got round to answering the questions in those 2 videos yet, just because I'm still answering from a couple of videos ago where I talked about no Splatoon 3 on the Switch. That is how far behind I am in terms of the questions. I was planning to do like a bonus episode, but unfortunately with the 3.0 update, I just didn't have the time to upload another Q&A episode as well as all of my 3.0 update content. But I hope to do this Q&A series weekly, and I hope to at some point do like a bonus Q&A episode. When it is a little bit quieter, then I will upload like a bonus Q&A episode, and maybe this will be part of a Q&A sort of bonus episode. But yeah, if I haven't answered your question yet, then that is the reason why, or I've already answered it in a previous Q&A episode. So I will leave a link to all of the previous Q&A episodes in the top right. Now the first question of this Q&A episode comes in from K-Don Folkman. Will Octolings have different abilities like Octo Jump or Ninja Push? Now Nintendo have confirmed that Octolings will not have any unique abilities. They will work in the same way as Inklings, so they will not have any unique abilities, unfortunately. I think this is the best way to balance out Inklings and Octolings. I think if Octolings did have any unique features that the Inklings couldn't do, then it would make the game unbalanced. So I think they have done the right thing, how they have made Inklings and Octolings have the same abilities. It's easy. Ian's question is, do you think there will be Octoling Amiibo? I think Nintendo will release an Octo expansion line of Amiibo. I've already made a separate video talking about this. I will leave a link to this video in the top right. But yeah, I do think Nintendo will release an Octo expansion line of Amiibo. I think we will get Agent A. I think we will get the Octolings as well. That's just what I think will happen. I will definitely buy those Amiibo if Nintendo did release them. The next question comes in from Milo Macron. Will they add the gear Agent 8 wears to multiplayer? I think Agent 8's gear will be available for the multiplayer, and I think one way Nintendo could do this is related to the previous question. If Nintendo do release an Octo expansion line of Amiibo and do release an Agent 8 Amiibo, I could see them doing a situation like, if you do have the Agent 8 Amiibo, then you can wear Agent 8's gear for the multiplayer. I think they would tie in Agent 8's gear to the Amiibo. I can definitely see Nintendo doing it through that way. I think Agent 8's gear will be made available for the multiplayer, but for you to unlock Agent 8's gear for the multiplayer, you will have to own the Agent 8 Amiibo. That will get released on the same day as when the Octo expansion does come out. I can see Nintendo doing it that way. Dua Carmona, apologies if I have pronounced your name wrong, but their question is, hey Snorf, what things in the Splatoon universe will change because of the Octolings and their technology? I think because Octolings are now starting to get up to the surface and get to Inkopolis Square, I don't think you will see an impact straight away. But maybe the Octolings' influence will be seen in a possible Splatoon 3. So maybe in Splatoon 3, because of the Octolings' influence on the world, maybe you will see a massive advancement in terms of the technology that is available in Inkopolis Square. Maybe instead of the subway, maybe you will see like a metro sort of system, or like flying cars. But I could definitely see Inkopolis Square getting more futuristic, like in the future with a possible Splatoon 3. I don't think we will see the impact straight away, but who knows, maybe we will get something new for Inkopolis Square with the Octo expansion, and that is brought through the Octolings and how they are good with technology. Or maybe the impact on the universe of Splatoon, maybe the story will get more technology based and you will get to see the Octarians create their inventions. That would be pretty cool. Or maybe in the Octo expansion you will see the Octarians and how they are good at technology, and you will see some more of their inventions. Maybe you will see more technology sort of stuff within the Octo expansion. But I definitely do feel like because the Octarians, we know that they are good with technology, maybe they will create something like advanced weapons. Maybe they will create something like that. I'm hoping Nintendo won't go the route of, creating jetpacks. I don't want to see that within multiplayer. But I definitely do feel like because we know that the Octarians, they are good at technology, I think Nintendo will use that aspect. Maybe with the Octo expansion, maybe in the future with Splatoon 2. But I can definitely see Nintendo exploring this aspect of the lore in the next game and in the future of the series. I could definitely see Nintendo exploring this aspect in the future. Now I'm going to pronounce your name wrong, but the next question comes in from Abarido de Abarime. Apologies if I have pronounced your name wrong, but their question is: do you imagine an Octo Squelcher like Jet Squelcher with Splat Bomb and Bubble Blower, or an Octo Slosher plus Beacon plus Splashdown? I could definitely see Nintendo doing Octo versions of weapons. I think the Octo Shot will return. People have data mined and found that the Octo Shot is in the files for Splatoon 2. And I think what would be cool with the Octo expansion is if Nintendo did release like Octo versions of the weapons that we've already got. It would sort of work like Sheldon Picks, how we would get a new variation of a weapon with new sub-weapons and a new special weapon that the weapon hasn't been paired with before. So I think that would be a good way to do like a Sheldon Picks without doing another Sheldon Picks. So I think Nintendo should do Octo versions of the weapons like an Octo Squelcher, like Octo Blaster, Octo Slosher, Octo Charger. I think Nintendo should do that. And yeah, I would be definitely on board with them if they did do that in the future instead of Sheldon Picks. Maybe they could do both, but I would definitely want to see Octo versions of the weapons that we've already got in the game. The next question comes in from Lloyd Walker Rule. Do you think that they will let you customize your own weapon or special, and the only way to get it is to get Ultra Sea Snail? Do you think that they will put Callie and Marie and Pearl and Marina together to do a duet? I'm going to start with the first question. I've always thought it would be cool if there was something extra to do with your weapons, like there was like a challenge to do, say like get 100 splats with the splatter shot, and maybe then once you get that, maybe you could unlock something for your weapon like a skin or a sort of camo for your weapon. I've always thought it would be cool if Nintendo did something extra like that. So maybe Nintendo could do something like that. Maybe they could do a load of challenges like get so many turf inked within Turf War. Maybe it could be 1 million turf inked with a weapon, and then within Tower Control kill so many enemies on the tower. And with Clan Blitz they could do kill 50 people that do have the big power clan. That would be pretty cool. In Splat Zones they could do kill 50 enemies that are in the Splat Zones. With Rainmaker they could do kill 50 people that do have the Rainmaker, and maybe then they could allow you to unlock a gold sort of camo for your weapon. I think that would be a really cool thing. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. And in terms of the special, maybe they could tie it to, like with Ink Armor, you've helped to create 5 or 10 assists, and then you will get a skin for your sort of character when you do sort of equip and use the Ink Armor. And with all of the other special weapons, maybe they could tie it to how many splats you get with that special weapon. So I've always thought it would be cool if you did have challenges to your weapons and to your special weapons. It would give an extra reason to use weapons and certain special weapons. Again, let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. And in terms of Pearl and Marina and Callie and Marie doing a duet, I think it would be cool if we got to see them perform together within the game itself. Now maybe they will do this within the Octo expansion, or maybe if you do have the Off the Hook and the Squid Sisters Amiibo, once you have unlocked them, then maybe you can see them do a performance within Inkopolis Square. Maybe that is one way they could do it. But I definitely do want Nintendo to get Off the Hook and the Squid Sisters to perform together. And I think it will happen. I'm hoping it will be in the Octo expansion, but I definitely do feel like Nintendo will make this happen at some point within the game itself. The next question of this video comes in from Henry Dovakin. Is it possible we will get more silly weapon designs or even another gun type? If so, do you think it will be crazy, like for example a dual paint canvas that would act like a shield, or a brush sword type, or goofy like a literal blender? There are some really cool ideas there. I don't think they would use a brush again, just because you do have an ink brush and the Octo brush in the game at this moment in time, so I don't think they would use a brush. But I like your ideas of using a canvas for like a shield. That would be really cool. Now, to go alongside the art theme, I think it would be cool if there was a spray paint can in the game. That would be really cool. In terms of crazy weapon ideas, there are some files for a wash tub weapon within the 3.0 update. That would be a pretty crazy idea. And some of you guys have come up with some interesting weapon designs within a previous Q&A episode. Kawaii Dior has come up with a mop brush as a new weapon. That would be really cool. They have also suggested a spray battle gun which would work like a blaster, a Chinese inspired umbrella, and a gun that shoots out bombs kind of like Junkrat from Overwatch are some of the other ideas that Kawaii Dior has come up with. Pudding Cup Cat says maybe a pencil and you can stab people with the tip. And another idea with the pencil is that it is a one-shot weapon, but it inks only a little of turf to keep the weapon balanced. I can see this weapon working out. I can see this weapon working like how the brush type class is currently working in the game right now. And pretty much when you do hold down ZR with the pencil, you can run around quickly with the pencil. But like what Pudding Cup Cat says, you will not ink a lot of turf. This weapon isn't really like used for inking a lot of turf, but when you do go up close and personal with people, if you do manage to connect your pencil with an inkling or octoling, pretty much it will be a one-shot splat. That is a really interesting idea. I would love to see this get implemented in the game. Let me know your thoughts about those weapon ideas in the comment section below. Though Panic's question is, do you consider yourself a Splatoon fan? And if you are, will you buy a Splatoon 3 even if it is on a different Nintendo console? I think it is safe to say that I am a Splatoon fan, just because the reason why I have made so many Splatoon videos on the channel, it is probably getting to 500 Splatoon videos on the channel when you do combine the videos that I have made for Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2. The reason why I have made so many Splatoon videos is because Splatoon is one of my favourite gaming franchises of all time. I absolutely love Splatoon. I absolutely love playing the game. I love talking about the game. I love making videos about the game. I just love the Splatoon IP. So if Splatoon 3 did come out on a different Nintendo console than the Switch, then I would pick up that console just to play the next Splatoon game. That is how much of a fan I am of Splatoon, and the main reason why I did pick up the Switch was to play Splatoon 2, and I thought, you know what, I may as well pick up the system on launch day, just because I don't want to be in a situation where I come to July 2017 and I struggle to get hold of a Switch. So yeah, I made sure that I got a Switch in preparation for Splatoon 2, and I would do the same for the next Splatoon game. Whatever system it does come out on, whether it will be on the Switch, I would pre-order that day flipping one. I'd make sure I would get that day one. Or if it meant for me having to buy a brand new system, then I would definitely do that just to play the next Splatoon game. That is how big of a fan I am of Splatoon. The next question comes in from NG4. Do you think the last Splatfest will be Squid Sisters versus Off the Hook, Inklings versus Octolings, or Pearl versus Marina? Now, I don't think Inklings versus Octolings will be the final Splatfest. I think we will get that Splatfest before we do get the final Splatfest. I can see us getting the Inklings versus Octolings Splatfest when the Octo expansion does come out. I can see us getting that Splatfest around about July, August time. I can see Nintendo definitely doing that. In terms of what I think the final Splatfest will be, I think it will work how the sponsored Splatfest, how the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splatfest is currently working at this moment in time. So I think what Nintendo will do is firstly do Callie versus Marie, and then the winner of that one will take on the winner of Pearl versus Marina. And this is related to the next question, which comes in from Scripted Developer. If Pearl wins the final Splatfest, if it is like Splatoon 1, will there be Pearl looking for Marina in Splatoon 3 story? Kind of like how Marie is looking for Callie in Splatoon 2 single player? Or do you think it might be different? Now, if they were to do a tournament aspect for the final Splatfest, how you got Callie versus Marie and then the winner will take on Pearl versus Marina, I'm not sure whether they can do like what they did do with the Splatoon 2 single player, how we influence the story by the loser getting kidnapped, just because you will have more than one loser in that aspect. Or maybe you could like do that sort of tournament aspect and still get us to influence the single player for the next game. Maybe the winner, say like if it is Pearl for example, maybe the winner of that tournament will have to search for Marie, Callie and Marina. All three of those characters maybe have got kidnapped, and your job with the winner of that tournament is to find those characters. Maybe Nintendo could do that aspect and still get us to influence the story. Or maybe it will be Pearl versus Marina, the loser will get kidnapped, and it will work similar to the single player in Splatoon 2. But I don't think they can do that aspect again. I don't think they can do the final Splatfest and then the loser will get kidnapped, just because that is too similar to what they have done with Splatoon 2. I would want them to do something different for the single player in Splatoon 3. I think the final Splatfest will work in a tournament aspect, and pretty much the winner of that tournament will basically mean that they will be the host for the next game. So if it is Marie, then it will be the Squid Sisters, same with Callie, and if it is Pearl and Marina, they will be the hosts for the next game. Luna DJ's question for this Q&A episode is, what is your favourite gear in Splatoon 2? Now, I would say I have maybe 2 or 3 favourite pieces of gear. The first one I would say is the white tee, which does have, I do believe, the Squid Force logo on the t-shirt, but basically it's got some Japanese writing on the t-shirt. And the reason why that I love this t-shirt is because I do actually own this t-shirt in real life. I got this t-shirt for my birthday last month, so that is why it is one of my favourite pieces of gear within the game. I love to wear the ghillie suit helmet and the ghillie suit shirt. I'm not sure what the proper names for those gear are, but I love to wear the ghillie suit, it looks really cool on the Inkling. I love that welding mask that you get from Salmon Run. That was a previous Salmon Run reward. I definitely love to wear that. It looks really cool on the Inkling as well. And also, I pretty much do like to wear the Octoling sort of, not the Octoling, the Octo expansion pre-order bonus headset, just because I love it in red. I do believe it is in the game in silver, and I did wear that quite a lot when the game did come out, but I love that headset in red. It looks really cool. So they're my favourite pieces of gear, but there's just so many to choose from. I'm sure I am forgetting some pieces of gear from the top of my head. The next question comes in from Raindrop. If you made a new type of clothes ability, what would it be and how would you use it? Now I've got one idea for a new gear ability, and pretty much it will reward people that do play the objective. So whenever you do go on the tower in tower control, or whenever you are in a splat zone within splat zones, or carry the Rainmaker, or pretty much gather enough clams to get the big power clam to break the barrier, pretty much whenever you do this within ranked mode, then pretty much it will give you a load of points towards your special meter. That's just one idea that I've got. I think this gear ability would be more suitable in ranked, and it would get people to play the objective more if they know that if they did play the objective, like if they got on the tower more in tower control, then they would get more points towards their special. Their special meter would feel faster if they carried the Rainmaker, for example. I think that would be pretty cool if this was a new gear ability. Maybe this is already in the game and I haven't noticed it, but I think this would be a cool gear ability if it wasn't in the game at this moment in time. And Moore's question is related to the first question from the teacher, and their question is, what is your favourite weapon in Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2? Now I would say my favourite weapon in Splatoon 1 is the Tentacake Splatter Shot, just because I do believe it came with either burst bombs. Actually it didn't come with burst bombs, that was just the normal splatter shot, but I think it came with either suction bombs or splat bombs. I could be wrong on that, but it definitely did come with the Ink Zuka, and I absolutely loved that setup. So for Splatoon 1 I would say the Tentacake Splatter Shot. I don't really like it that much within Splatoon 2, just because I don't really like the Inkjet that much, just because I kind of feel like it is way too weak. I feel like the splash damage, it should do way more damage than what it does do at this moment in time. So don't like the Tentacake Splatter Shot within Splatoon 2. At this moment in time I am using the NZAP 89 a lot, just because I like the auto bomb and the Tenta missile setup. There are quite a lot of weapons that I do use in Splatoon 2. I would say that I am definitely using a much more wide variety of weapons compared to what I did do within Splatoon 1. I was pretty much just using the Tentacake Splatter Shot and the 52 Gal Deco. I don't really use those two weapons that much within this game, Splatoon 2. So I would say at the moment it is the NZAP 89, but I definitely like to use the normal splatter shot or the hero shot, which are the same weapons. I like to use the Geordie Squelchers as well. I like to use the NZAP 85 if I feel like I'm not really contributing to the objective and I want to give ink armor to my teammates. So I would say at the moment it is the NZAP 89, but I like to flick between NZAP 89, Geordie Squelchers and the hero shot. I pretty much use the hero shot mostly in Turf War and when Splatfest do happen, but hopefully that answers your question. The teacher also has another question, and that is, do you think the Smash Bros Inklings will still have to reload ink, and would they have to paint the map? I think the Smash Bros Inklings will have to paint the map, and I think they will have to reload ink as well. I think that is one of the characteristics that I think will carry over to Smash Brothers. I definitely am looking forward to seeing what the moveset will be for the Inklings. And of course, when we do get gameplay for the Inklings at E3, then I will try and upload that gameplay onto the channel. The next question comes in from TattyT4. How do you screen record on your Switch? Now, I have a device called a capture card which allows me to record my TV screen, and pretty much what capture card I have, just because they come in different brands. I have a capture card called the AverMedia Game Capture HD2, which allows me to capture gameplay without using a laptop. Now, to use the AverMedia Game Capture HD2, I have bought an external hard drive to record the gameplays. Like, to the external hard drive, you do need an internal hard drive or an external hard drive to record gameplays to. But that is how I do record my Switch. And the last question of this Q&A comes in from Follow Babalola, and their question is, if you could make a weapon with sub or specials, what would it be? Now, I would love an NZAP weapon with an auto bomb and splashdown. That would be really powerful. Seriously, that would be really powerful. And I do believe I was watching gameplay of Splatoon 1 that I do have on my external hard drive. And I can remember seeing gameplay of NZAP 83. Or I can remember seeing somebody using the NZAP 83. So there is an NZAP that still hasn't been brought over from Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2. So maybe with the NZAP 83, maybe it could be my dream setup of auto bomb and splashdown. Or maybe they could do the next best thing for me, and that would be splat bomb with splashdown. That would be pretty cool. I would love to see that setup on the Clash Blaster as well. That would be pretty cool to see. I would like to see the Splat Shot have a variant where it does have maybe a splat bomb or auto bomb, and you pair that with either the splashdown or the baller. That would be pretty cool to see. And maybe they will do this setup with the Octo shot, just because we now know that the Octo shot will be returning thanks to leaks from the 3.0 update. So maybe that will be a thing with the Octo shot. But they're just some of the setups that I would like to see moving forward, with maybe a Sheldon Pix. Maybe Sheldon Pix will return. So that is it with this Q&A episode. I'd just like to thank everybody that did leave questions for this Q&A episode. I really do appreciate you guys leaving your questions. I'd just like to apologise if I have pronounced your name wrong. If you do want to get involved with this series, then all what you need to do is leave your questions in the comment section of this video, and then I will answer your question in a future Q&A episode. But that is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one that I do upload.